Well, hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And obviously, my favorite episode, to say it every time, but it's true, is when you guys get to join me and we get to talk about what's going on in your life and your money. And so today I have Nucci on with me. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin. So great. Okay, so you wrote in a little bit about your situation, but tell me, you're married. I know that.
Mm-hmm, I am.
And you have two little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And what are their ages?
I have a 4-year-old and then a 10-month-old.
And a 10-month-old. So great. And you and your husband, when did you guys kind of start this whole journey of deciding to get out of debt, live intentionally with your money and all of that?
So we just recently started at the beginning of the year. So it's still a work in progress, but it's going.
And you're through baby step 1.
Yes, we are.
And you're into baby step 2 right now. And that's what your question is about. So go ahead and you can ask that.
Okay. All right. So my husband, we have a lot of debt. We have about $5,000 in credit card debt, $7,000 on our Honda Civic 2019, $29,000 in student loans for me, and then $30,000 on our Toyota Sienna 2020, and then our house has about $70,000 left to pay. I have 2 boys, and we want to have kids again in the future, and probably 1 or 2 years. So my question is: should we sell this van because we're going to have more kids, or should we sell it and get a Dave car?
Yes, a Dave car, aka the used beater, while you're in this process. Well, I'll say this. Our rule of thumb when it comes to anything with wheels or motors, we always say should be no more than half of your annual income. And what's your income right now between you and your husband?
Right now, my husband, he isn't working. He's looking for a job, but I make about $60,000 a year.
Okay. So you guys are kind of over that already with the car situation. And the Sienna, the minivan, which is near and dear to my heart. I love a great minivan. But you guys owe the most besides your house on that, right? That's the $30,000, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if I woke up in your shoes, I would probably sell it. I mean, I always say if you can pay off your car in 12 to 18 months, you can keep it. But all of these factors together, considering you're on one income right now of $60,000 and already you're over that 50% limit, I would say to get rid of it. And I know it's hard, it's painful. It's a 2020, right? I think is what I have written down. So I'm like, it's a nice van. It's super nice. I get it. But for right now, I would say absolutely. That's going to relieve so much stress from this whole situation and get you so further along on the debt snowball. I mean, because you have a great income. I mean, $60,000 is amazing. And if your husband finds a job and you add to that, you guys could be completely out of debt if you sell the van. I mean, within 18 months, for sure, if you get at it and you really sacrifice, I mean, you guys can be in a totally different position financially because the house, I know you mentioned, is $78,000, which is a pretty low mortgage. I mean, for the most part, which is awesome. I mean, you won't pay that off until a little bit later, but you guys could get through these baby steps in really a pretty quick time period, which is just amazing. And I think that selling the van for sure is what I would suggest and recommend. Absolutely. Does that hurt your heart a little bit? You can be honest.
It really does, because I can't imagine sitting in a 5-seater, but yeah, it really does. But it does make me feel better because that would save me about $630 a month. And I could use that to go pay my credit card or something else. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
Girls,
I know.
You're paying like a $600 and what dollar car payment?
$630.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'd get it out of there for sure. Oh my gosh. And here's the great thing too, is that you can never, it's not that you'll never have a nice van again in your life, right? And the fact that you only have 2 kids is a blessing right now because the 5-seater, it's tough. I get it, but it's so doable, right? When you get 3 back there in a row, that can get really comfortable really fast. But for you guys, I mean, by the time you have your 3rd, there's a great chance you guys are completely out of debt and you're saving up for a van to go and to step into. So if I were you, I would definitely go that route. And I'm excited for you guys because, again, not that you could never get out of debt if you kept the van. I believe you could. but just the amount of progress you guys would make by this one decision financially, not only from a monthly payment standpoint, but even just the debt snowball, getting there so much faster and not having this huge car payment kind of lingering.
Yeah, I agree. It is very exciting when we take that out of the equation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So what motivated you guys to get started on this earlier this year?
I have a friend that just keeps talking about the Dave Ramsey. She just keeps talking about Dave Ramsey, Dave Ramsey, and finally, I just started looking into it, and I finally bought the Dave Ramsey book, and it just started reading it, and everything just started clicking together. Not living paycheck to paycheck and budgeting and trying to figure out life and everything. So
absolutely,
I finally listened to her, and now we're on track.
That's amazing. Do you feel different from the beginning of the year? Like when you look back in December of 2020 to now fast forward, 6 months, do you just feel different? Do you and your husband, do you talk about money more than you ever have? Do you feel a sense of control that you never had before?
I do. I have a Google Excel that I use to keep track of all our expenses and everything. And I'm like, why am I spending $100 at TJ Maxx when I can use this towards my credit card? So it kind of opens up my eyes a lot more.
For sure, for sure. Was your husband, did he get on board after you read the book and you guys were talking about it?
Yeah, he's slowly getting on board. It's a work in progress with him, but we talked about selling the van, and he's finally agreeing that maybe it's the best choice for us. We'll lose that 30 grand, and then we can put that towards other debt. So he's excited now too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so great. Well, thank you so much for calling in and asking the question, because there's so many people right now on this journey of their debt snowball, and you're having to make these life choices that it sounds silly, but even selling a car, it's a thing, right? It's a decision you have to make. You have to put the work in to do it and then actually apply that money to the debt. It's a work. It's not as easy as just snapping your fingers and deciding it. There's a lot of choices in life in between all these decisions. And so I just applaud you guys for starting it and saying, we're going to change the way we've been doing our money. And I really think you guys are going to be in such an incredible place in 2 years from now. It's going to be amazing, probably the amount of relief of not having payments. And by 2 years from now, I really think you'll have that baby step 3 almost finished too. So we are cheering you on so much. And so I really hope that everything goes well.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in. All right, you guys, you heard it first and foremost. They just started 6 months ago. It's absolutely an incredible thing. So I want to answer your questions no matter where you are on your financial journey. So you can go to any of my social media platforms. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and ask your question. And you could be a guest here on the show. So thanks again for calling in again. I really appreciate it. And good luck to all of you watching.